Modern art is rubbish!
Modern art is rubbish. Isms. Juxtapose. Didactic. Modern art is rubbish. Modern art is rubbish podcast.
I am live. It's a live podcast. Modern art is rubbish, and Tom is going to be joining me soon for the Modern art is rubbish first ever live podcast. So I'm just going to talk to myself. Normally I go out for runs when I'm talking. When I'm talking, normally I go out for runs when I'm doing these live podcasts. Right. So hopefully, I'm waving to everyone who's joining. Hopefully, Tom will be there very soon. Tom.
Yeah, look, we're in.
At an angle. I like it. It's
Is that good?
redefining what a podcast is. You're going. I love it. I like this angle. It's a very angly way.
I think you should do this. Oh yeah. So like we're both lying down.
But then people have to turn their phones on. Now, when people look at us in portrait, we'll be on our sides. So I can do that. Look at this. This is getting high. We've got an arty opening. So it's welcome to the first ever live edition of the Modern Art is Rubbish podcast, Tom. What episode is it? Episode, I don't know.
Episode number 1!
We're redefining it because I like the edginess of this on the side. And just say hello to everyone who's joined us. There's lots of people that are just our friends and our loved ones. There are lots of other people joining, and there'll be people normally with these things. People come up and go, this is May. And I just keep talking because I realise I'm live.
Yeah.
So there's no written, Tom.
Oh, no, hang on. Welcome to Modern Art is Rubbish!
Right. So, Tom, got two things I want to talk about today. The Banksy thing with the stop sign. That was the one you told me about. There was a Banksy art piece in London where Banksy had put drones on a stop sign.
Yeah.
And also, I watched a really good documentary about an artist collective called Hipgnosis, which designed all the big album covers. It's something I saw on Netflix, actually. I'm waving. David Jones has just joined, so let's give a wave to everyone who's joined. We've got 4 people, Tom. 4. It's the world. The world has joined us. If the world was 4.
Yeah. Well, there's likely to be 4 people in the world, isn't there? Because there's at least 3 of us.
That's the 4 most important people in the world at the moment.
Yeah.
We've got David Jones, so wave. And right, let's start with the first one, then the Banksy Bandit, apparently. Yeah, so that was that stop sign. I think most people have seen it, but I'm going to try and show it to the camera if I can.
Maybe we should live report him to the police for graffiti.
Who? Which one?
No, me and you, we should report Banksy. Finally he's arrested.
Well, so that was a stop sign. So basically, he put up drones on a stop sign. I'm assuming it's related to a certain situation in the Middle East at the moment with drones on it, and someone came along and decided to nick it.
Yeah.
And apparently it's worth about 250 grand just for someone sticking a stop sign. I've just read up that the guy's been arrested.
Who nicked it?
He's been arrested for criminal damage and for theft.
Oh, right. Right, yeah, but so Banksy's not going to get arrested.
Banksy's not. No, Banksy. Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't know if the stop sign actually was something that Banksy put up himself, or if it's a real stop sign. If it's a real stop sign, then I'm saying the official Modern art is rubbish. Official Modern art is rubbish policy is don't damage street signs.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah, well, even if you're drunk, though, if you're drunk, you can't be responsible. And you need street signs when you get home after a night out,
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah, well, that's why I don't drink, Tom, is because I think I remember once when I got drunk, I might have moved a traffic cone slightly.
Yeah. Or what, you put it on its side for a bit of artistic
No, I think I might have
definition.
accidentally kicked it. I think that's as far as my rebel gun.
Yeah.
Um, we've got a request from someone saying, did it cause any accidents? No, I don't know. Did the stop sign cause any accidents? The theft of it? No, I don't. I've not heard any reports of that.
Yeah. I reckon the drones might have caused some accidents, the drones in the Middle East.
I think those drones probably did cause a lot of serious. There's a lot of Banksies actually in the. There's Banksies around the West Bank, isn't there? Some good stuff
Yeah.
which we talked about before.
Well, they were dropped by drones.
Banksy artworks.
Banksy artwork dropped on top of the people of the Middle East.
If they drop Banksies,
It's a new form of warfare, isn't
what
it?
dropping good art?
Dropping Banksy.
Yeah, well, so there would be a lot of people that would be happy if they drop Banksies. So, so it's interesting because, of course, the thing is Banksy always says that when you steal his artwork from the street, it's no longer a Banksy. So the point is the bloke nicked it, but it was so public, he couldn't have really sold it on the chance of him getting a buy would have been very low.
Yeah. But I guess he was hoping that he'd nick it and no one would notice.
Yeah, except for the people with the cameras and don't nick Banksies. Banksies are very hard to steal, I think, unless they're not being seen by anyone. Yeah. So if anyone's listening, but this is Night Rubbish podcast. First time we've gone live, and if you've got any questions, anyone, just put them in the comments. That's what they do. They say put them in the comments.
Yeah.
Tom, that's what
What sort of questions would you like about this, Banksy? Imagine if someone asked you the perfect question, what do you think it would be?
The perfect question would be, no. Oh no, I'm on the spot. I don't know. I'm asking people to ask interesting questions, and I've got none. It's because I'm secretly, you've peeled the curtain back. I've got no interesting questions myself.
Yeah,
I'm relying on the wisdom of modernised rubbish people who are listening. So I like Ray Sensei. I like Ray Sensei. Maybe Ray Sensei's got some questions because that's a good name. With a name like Sensei, Artis Abdullah, Alatik joined, and Paul Murphy official. What's left about the art? Paul Murphy officials asked.
Yeah,
that's a good question.
It always is with Banksy because it's kind of like a vandalism act, isn't it? His artwork.
Yeah.
So any sort of crime is part of Banksy's artwork, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the point. No, actually, he knows it's probably going to get nicked. He knows he's probably going to. So that's a good question, actually. Does it become part of the artwork?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Of course it does. Like, it's like anything involved in our lives is part of our lives, isn't it? It's just not, our lives isn't just this present moment. It's like all of our history as well, isn't it? Is in there somewhere. So everything that happens from the inception of the art has got to be part of the artwork in terms of Banksy, I'd say, off the top of my head.
Well, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's right. I think you don't create art in a vacuum. You don't. If you put up public art, you expect the public to react to it, and the reaction is part of the art. So
Has anyone ever created art inside a vacuum?
What do you mean, like a Henry the Hoover?
Yeah, exactly.
I love Henry the Hoover. This is something that I've never revealed in public, except for the fact that I did on Facebook. I was one of Henry the Hoover's top fans. It was a badge. It was one of the greatest achievements of my life, getting a top fan badge on Facebook for
For
Henry the
Henry the
Hoover.
Hoover. Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a starfish called a Bloody Henry. Did you know that?
No?
Yeah,
Is it bloody?
it's called Bloody Henry. It's a type of
Does it look
starfish.
very arty?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So well, Tom, I think we've said all we can say about that, Banksy. So could you just quickly do a 5 second interlude before I go on to the next thing, which we're going to talk about, which is this album cover artists documentary that I saw on.
So I missed all that because the phone was ringing. But I think you said, "Can you play me an interlude?" And then
Yeah,
it
we
cut
just
off.
need a 5 second interlude, so we go on to the next bit because I haven't. Normally I'll do sound effects.
We're going on to the next bit now. Going on to the next bit now. Next bit now.
Yeah.
Rubbish.
That's fantastic. Right. So I watched this documentary called Squaring the Circle. I just wanted to mention it because I think people quite enjoy it. It's on Netflix. It's called Squaring the Circle, and it's a story of hypnosis. Right. So imagine hypnosis with a G in it. So
It's
it's
like
hypnosis.
there's a music rights company called Hipgnosis that buy rights of old songs, and it's listed on the London Stock Exchange. So they've obviously taken their name from whatever this is. Is it related to music?
Yeah. Hypnosis
Yeah.
they were formed in the 1960s. They're an art sort of collective. And
Yeah.
basically, it was a guy who I was watching. I can't remember the names, but this guy, he in the 1960s, he went into a house and everyone from Pink Floyd was in there doing all smokes, and he met this other guy who was friends with
Smoke.
yeah, that's the arty side for it. I don't know what that. Yeah, smokes. Yeah,
So,
we all know what smokes are.
oh, oh, you mean like funny cigarettes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny cigarettes. Official modern artist rubbish policies. Don't do funny cigarettes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, basically, this guy goes into the house and he meets up with this guy called Storm. And they form this. They start doing artwork. So basically, Pink Floyd. They know him, and Pink Floyd are just forming. And Pink Floyd said, "Why don't you do our first sort of album cover?" And they went on from there.
Piper at the Gates of Dawn.
Is that the first album cover? Is it good, that album? Is it very, very
I don't know.
adventurous?
It's Sid Barrett. It's all based in Cambridge. The story of Pink Floyd, isn't it?
I believe so, but this was in London when they met. But
Okay.
so this is not Pink Floyd, but this is. I'm going to show you some of the covers. So they went on to do some of the biggest album covers of like the 70s and the 80s,
Yeah.
Early 80s. They were like mega rock stars, and they spend like thousands of pounds just going out to ridiculous places to do album covers. So they get like a budget of £50,000 to do an album cover.
Yeah.
In their heyday, and this is the sort of things they did, right? So, for instance, obviously before AI, ChatGPT, and Photoshop, right? Here's one of the. Oh no, I'm just doing that. Let's try that again. Stop pressing the wrong buttons. So this is one of the album covers they did. They basically, right? They went out to the Sahara Desert, and they just got loads of spheres and just stuck them in Sahara Desert to get that album cover done. So it's like kind of like imagine the costs of just filming that.
Yeah.
And then
I've never put a sphere in the Sahara Desert. I wouldn't know how much it costs.
I put a sphere on a beach ball. Is that the same thing?
Yeah, that's a sphere, isn't it? And a beach is kind of like the desert. How much did it cost to do that?
Lots of money. They didn't go into the price of every single one, but the budget was like massive, and they were like, someone described them as the Beatles of the album cover industry. And then there's this really famous one which you probably can name. Oh no, I stopped showing my desktop. Right, this one that you can probably name.
Oh, is that Wish You Were Here? It looks like
Yeah,
Donald Trump and the North Korean leader.
yeah, Kim Il Jung, yeah, or Kim
Yeah.
Il, whatever his name is. Kim Il, hello to someone who's just joined, Garcia. Yeah, so uh, just for people who joined, it's the Modern Night is Rubbish first inaugural live one we've ever done. We always normally record
Oh,
these
I can do
podcasts.
a special intro to the person who's just joined. Welcome to
Yeah, and we're just discussing album covers at the moment by this art collective called Hipgnosis, documentary on Netflix. And this guy on this album cover, they actually set a light a guy on fire, and they had to stand to get a photograph. So they
Oh,
the idea.
is this Michael Jackson?
No, it was Michael Jackson. Yeah, he did in the Pepsi commercial. No, this was the guy on the album cover, which I'm quickly showing again. There
Oh,
you
right,
go.
yeah.
Yeah. So they've done that. That was quite a mad one, and then they've done, obviously, very famously done the Peter Gabriel cover, and Black Sabbath. This is quite cool. Robot with laser head. That looks a bit like AI did that, but
Yeah.
obviously AI wasn't at the time, so AI's probably copied it. In fact,
Yeah.
that's what's more likely. And this one is absolutely shows this was at the height of their decadence. They made this cover, which is for 10cc, yeah, right. If I zoom right in there's a picture of a sheep on a chaise lounge.
Is the writing like backwards because you're showing it on the screen, or is it backwards in real life?
Oh no, so it's because I'm showing it on the
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
So
It says, "Are you normal?"
yeah, are you normal? But the thing is if you actually look at probably the question is, are you normal? Because that picture that I showed, which is that one there of the sheep on the chaise lounge, is they went out to, I believe, Barbados to get a picture of a sheep on a chaise lounge, and they had to hire one of the only people with a sheep that could pay someone to borrow their sheep. And then even when they got back, they made it absolutely tiny. So the question, are you normal? It's like, that's not normal to do that, is it? You go all that way, pay all that money to get a sheep on a chaise lounge in front of a beach, and then you just stick it on tiny.
Yeah, but it's expensive going to Barbados, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. So I suppose they had to use the picture, and they thought, but we don't like it, so they just put it tiny. So
yeah, and did they? I mean, you're saying they're decadent. It's not like they went to the moon or something.
well, no, they didn't go to the moon, but probably they would have done if they could. They also famously did the one with the pig.
You'd think Dark Side of the Moon, they'd at least like look into getting a rocket built.
Yeah, because they made the Dark Side of the Moon cover, the famous one with the prison, with the Hello Fiona and Hello Everyone Else Who's Joined. They did this one where they actually, the famous Dark Side of the Moon live brain freeze there. Dark Side of the Moon cover with the famous prison and the rainbow going through it. They also designed that cover, which is very good. So but they never went to the moon.
Yeah.
And
I mean, putting a sheep on a chaise long on the moon would be tricky, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah. So, Tom, ends our first ever live, and hopefully there'll be live. Did you enjoy your first ever live podcast experience, Tom?
Oh, it was just magical with every second of it, Marcus.
Oh, there's magic. It is magic. It's magical to connect with so many people.
Come on, as we always do after our podcast, we've got to do an advert.
Oh yeah, when we got makeup and effort on the spot. Well, because what I want to do is we need to support the show. People can join a membership. We've got a membership site which I do. I do a podcast each month on my own, and I talk about other arty things, and also you get a free book, but also you get discounts on merch, and merch is always good to support the show.
Yeah. Oh, so merch-wise, we've got mugs.
Yeah, mugs.
We've got t-shirts. I haven't got my t-shirt
No,
on, but we've both got t-shirts. We should wear them next time we do a live podcast, Marcus.
Yes. And
Yeah.
if you head over to the site, you can sign up. Turn our prints, membership sites, everything. The site sort of like will ask you, are you interested in signing up? And it'll do all that stuff. You will be supporting the show. If you join the membership, you get discounts on merchandise, free book, which took me ages to do. And
yeah, maybe for the advert we could do like Dark Side of the Moon. They could be going to the moon and they're trying to shoot the Pink Floyd album cover, but there's not enough light because on the Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah. How does that link into an advert? How do we advertise the membership and the merch?
Or maybe
and the
maybe it could be they're like they're trying to get print the turtle art print on the Dark Side of the Moon, but like they go all the way up in the rocket, but all they need to do is go to the website. You idiot. You don't have to go all the way to the moon. All you need to do is go to modernizerubbish.com and sign up for the mailing list.
Right, that's the advert. So go to the Modernized Rubbish, sign up for the mailing list. Everything's on there. And please, if you want to get hold of us, I'd love to hear from you. So does Tom. info@modernizerubbish. We hang around on Instagram. We stalk. And Tom, you're here on your music Instagram. What's your music Instagram handle? And I'll put it in the comments. What is it? Can you put it? Can you type it in the comments?
Okay. I can type it in the comments.
And then just say it out loud, because you do a lot of music at the moment, and it'd be good if people can go out and check that out as well, which is really cool.
Okay.
There's writing, the tension. So la 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 la. I'll sing while we're waiting. La 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 la. Have you typed it in? Tom Bell Music.
Yeah.
Let's wave to everyone. So everyone who's just joined, thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening to our first inaugural pod of Modern Art is Rubbish. We will be putting this up on Spotify for people that haven't joined us, so it will be available, iTunes, all that stuff.
Wow.
Anyway,
this is like this is a new era.
This is the future. We're doing the future, Tom. We've walked into the future. Can you do it into the future outro?
We're going into the future with Marcus Stefanelli and Tom Burton and Modern Art is Rubbish.
Yes. Okay. See you soon, and thank you so much. And Walter Vanderhorst has just joined. Thanks so much for joining. We've just completed the Modern Art is Rubbish Loud podcast, and Paul McCloskey, who's just joined as well. See you soon, and thanks so much for listening. So it's just bars, Tom.
Goodbye.
Isms, juxtapose, didactic. Modern Art is Rubbish. Modern Art is Rubbish podcast.